RNG straight into the Void Spirit. Now, the control from iG.V isn't quite enough to keep a Void Spirit in its place. You're only really looking at the Tusk and maybe a fast Orchid from either the NP or Queen of Pain. So it should be a relatively easy time for RNG to go in and out with that hero.
Yeah, it should be. Raw Never Give Up looking great already in this draft. I kind of wonder though where they lane this Void Spirit. Like, does this mean Flyman's going to take the offlane DK and you'd rather run the mid Void Spirit here, or are we going to see another? Do we see something weird like a position 1 DK? It's still very flexible and it can work out either way. iG.V may have to consider the same thing now as they go into their 4th pickup. Like, what are we picking up here and what are we banning? I imagine right now they'll either go for a position 5 or they'll just run the Prophet 5 and maybe go for an offlane pick.
Yeah, I think RNG with this draft, we've seen them do this before. We've seen Monet play that DK multiple times to great effect. If RNG did just want to keep that pacing, I can actually see them just going back to the Moors if they want to and playing a really fast-paced game, not giving iG.V breathing room. iG.V, well, they pick up the Lich, which again isn't the best control for a Void Spirit, but I guess that Gaze is pretty good. You've got stronger team fight, and we've seen the combo with the Tusk before, so there's a lot of laning presence from these two supports and a lot of durability they can bring. So it is a lot faster from iG.V this time around with these heroes. They do still have to follow up with a very fast pos 1 if they want to maintain that pace, but it does look like they've kind of sorted out their drafting issues from game number 1 at the least.
Well, my issues here with iG.V is they've only got 1 stun right now.
10 seconds remaining.
That's the Tusk. And that's not a very good stun. It's very short, and it's on a, Snowball is on a decently long cooldown for a support hero. So that's the one thing that's bothering me right now about iG.V's draft, if I'm perfectly honest. It's just the pure fact that they don't really have much stun going on. And so heroes like the Void Spirit, the Mirana, how are you going to control them? They're just going to jump in and out however they want. Even the Banger. Like, you get a Fiend's Grip off, and currently the only thing to stop that Fiend's Grip is Snowball and Walrus Punch, but that's it.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and you've got the Gaze from the Lich, but that's not too long for canceling. It's there though, at least. But I do agree, it's trickier for iG.V to get big control in the big fight, and it gets a lot harder as well because their last pick looks to be that pause 1. There's not many position 1 you a decent amount of control to make up for this lack of it from iG.V's side. The Void would have been nice, but they take that out. Chrono would have fixed some of those issues in their team fight at least, but you don't have that option anymore. We're going to have to see how iG.V works it out. They do have to pick first. That gives RNG a huge opening to close out their own draft.
It does. One final ban now. We saw the Doom being removed there from iG.Vitality, and RNG, they get rid of the Slark, which actually would have been a very nice pickup there for iG.V had they wanted to go down that route. They won't have the option any longer. How do you finish this off now? We still do have those illusion-based heroes like the Naga Siren, like the PL. Maybe a bit hard for RNG to deal with those kind of heroes, but they're going to go after the AM. Fair enough. RNG, I wonder how they respond with their own position 1 now.
Yeah, it's an interesting AM pick. I think overall you do have really solid control from RNG. Like, sure, the Bane can only stun 1. You either choose the Quap or the AM, but when it comes down to it, the AM is the big, money bomb that you want to shut down faster. And you do have the DK with the Dragon Tail for RNG anyway. So RNG's timing probably going to have to revolve around a quick initiation tool for the DK in this game, just to ensure that they will have the follow-up regardless of who is Fiend's first. And that makes it a lot harder for the AM to just blink in and out of these fights. Of course, if you can get some good stacks going here and the NP can maintain a presence in that jungle, you can get that AM snowballing really hard. Still, RNG, they do close out with a Pango. So they are tying up that team fight. And they are looking to play really fast. We do see that Monet DK once more. So with this kind of lineup, you want to keep the same pace they were playing in game 1, iG.V. It's a lot faster than it was with a Spectre, but the AM does have some farm ramp up to take care of as well. So We'll see whether or not iG.V does secure that safe farm for Doodle, or if they bleed too much space to RNG here in game 2.
I don't know about this AM. I'll be frank with you, John. I really don't. Like, if Manet does go for the standard Blink Dagger build that we see out of these DKs these days, you know, you blink in, you Dragon Tail stun, arrow to follow up, Doodle's dead, guaranteed. You've also got the Bane's Fiend's Grip, you've got the Aether Remnant, you've got the Rolling Thunder. It just doesn't seem like an easy AM game. And we almost expect him to go for the standard Battle Fury build, as we do tend to see AMs do pretty much every time we see them, which is absolutely fine because it's just a great item to have. It's just a matter of whether RNG are willing to give them enough time to even utilize that Battle Fury when they do get it up. But
yeah, it's almost got that same timing issue as the spec. Not quite as bad, because the AM does have innate mobility for clearing out camps at the least. But if you do end up with Doodle stalled out, as we saw him in game 1 with a spec, well, the AM does lose some potency there. So a lot more pivotal for iG.V to maintain that control in the jungle. They're going to have to ensure that they don't bleed out in those early objectives too fast, just to allow themselves to get Doodle up and running.
Prepare for battle.
they're going to be running the offlane Prophet as well, so never mind. Looking to have a better game than last time around. He did have quite a struggle last game on the Sand King. It's going to be very important for him to have that decent laning phase and start rotating early. You already have like the Tusk there that you can really combo off quite nicely with Tag Team. Nature's Prophet already hit so hard as it is. That Tag Team only looking to amplify the high damage he already has. And iG.V, they're going to try and go for something early on. Flywind doesn't want to walk that way. Dust going to show himself now, of course. Tag Team going to come up. Arrow is very nice, however, from September. That may actually allow Super to get out of there.
30 seconds to battle.
He's still making a run for it. Doodle can't quite finish the job. And it was just off the back of that arrow. But now September's going to be a bit of danger. Frost Blast may be enough. September does. He's going to dive for it, and he will go and get the first blood. And so they still managed to get the first blood they were looking for. I suppose you'd call that a positive start for iG.V.
Yeah, they do manage to get that. The trade isn't too bad for RNG, especially if they do manage to pick up more bounties, but you do see iG.V manage to clear that out as a trade. So a slight win in the end for iG.V. That was a massive investment to it. That was like 4 heroes down bot to ensure that happens, and since Setsu had the space, he's going to have a bit of a better block up against that Queen of Pain down mid.
That he will. And he kind of needs to as well. Like, the early levels for the Void Spirit can be pretty rough. Butterfly going to have to try and pump out as much harassment as he can early on, as can get a bit difficult as the levels do go up on Setsu. Setsu really just closing the gap there on Butterfly Effect, understanding he has to go after the range creep sooner or later, and well, the range creep is secured there by Butterfly, but he took so much harass out of that. Top lane as well, Dust is falling very low on the Tusk, but it'll be alright.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. It's really much more important for iG.V to win out in these lanes. You can't allow, say, the DK to get really online fast, because once Monet has that Soul Ring, you're just feeding him treants in this lane. It's going to snowball out of control if you're not careful, and Dust and Nevermind really have to maximize this damage they have.
Shards was there as well, trying to lock Monet in, but he did just walk around them. They're going to try and apply this pressure now underneath this tier 1 tower and get as many denies as they can up against Monet, and this is one thing the Nature's Prophet does very well. Monet, without that Breathe Fire, can't really secure any CS properly. Looks like Super's just going to try and continue harassing out Dust and making some space for him. Of course, down to that bot lane as well, you'll see Doodle and QYQX there up against Flywind and September. So far, Doodle is at the top of the last hits board, and he does make an aggressive jump onto September now. It's something he can afford to do with that Frost Shield. It's not too hard to be able to blink in and just get a few right clicks off, while you know they can't really trade harass very well.
Yeah, it's really good for iG.V to have this kind of start for Doodle. Like, there's not much you can expect September to really do in that lane, and ooh.
Yeah, top lane, he goes down, Super, he will die as well, but you lost that core Nature's Prophet to Monet. And this is going to make that lane much more comfortable for this DK now, at least for the next couple seconds. You don't want that.
No, that does give Monet his Soul Ring gold as well. I believe that's going to be TP in with Super, so you've got the sustain on the DK, and he can just clear out these treants, clear out these waves with the Breathe Fire forever.
He does bring out the full Soul Ring. Dust, he's going to stick around the lane for now on that Tusker, so he's not really interested in making too many early rotations on the Tusk. I thought he may try to go mid lane and go after that Void Spirit with the Quap, but instead they'll just keep focused on Monet. But with that level 2 Dragon's Blood, the odds are Monet is not going to die.
No, he just has too much regen, too much stat padding with that Soul Ring as well. The best you can hope for now is just to get levels on Dust with some pulls, try to reach level 4, level 5 in a good timer, and maybe get a rotation on a different lane. Again, mid is still pretty nice. Setsu, as long as he doesn't have Astral Step, it's a much more manageable target.
He does go down in the end, so Dust managing to make it work. He just popped the tag team again, and Monet may have been out of position. Does go down, Dust. Oh.
It's a really important pickup. Again, you don't want that DK to just have an overwhelming start. Of course, with Super tied up there, that does leave your bot lane to go really well. Doodle's having a comparatively better start on the AM and is set for a pretty decent timing on that Battle Fury.
Well, September, going to be able to secure that Illusion Rune, going after QYQX now. Nice arrow landing from that Mirana. Shouldn't really lead to a kill here. QY, he will be fine to just get himself out. And Dust actually TP'd into that mid lane on the Tusk. And, well, looks like he's going to be forced to run back up top, because never mind, he is under some harass here from Super. No, he definitely wants to try and go mid, but he hasn't gone for that level 1 snowball quite yet. So perhaps just feeling uncomfortable trying to break the gap there in that mid lane, and we'll come back up top to try and help out Nevermind. In fact, Super, it could be in danger. They pinged him out. Shards are going to be there, but they don't really lock him in. And now, with the Dragon Tail, they'll try and turn around. Dust is there with the tag team, back onto Super, and I don't believe he can tank this. He'll go for the Nightmare. Still, nice spread out from Nevermind. He will be able to secure this kill. Salve committed from the Bane, but it was not enough regen to allow him to survive. And that's also going to mean iG.V at least secure both the top bounties.
Yeah, it's a really strong showing now for iG.V, just managing to find the better trades overall. When it comes down to rotations, though, Dust is going to miss out opportunity for Setsu. Setsu's just about hit 6. So once the Astral Step is up, the Void Spirit is out of the table. So just look to maintain that side lane and continue that pressure on Monet while he is still fairly squishy on the DK. Like, level 2 levels in Dragon Blood is great, but tag team plus treants is still a force to be reckoned with.
Now they really tried to dive Butterfly Effect there. Setsu could be in a bit of danger. Shards are going to come out, but you have September around the corner, and Setsu just jumps back in with the Aether Remnant onto Dust. And well, nice Snowball is going to juke out some of that damage from Setsu. Dust going to get the Frost Shield as well, and that'll allow him to survive. iG.V very, very close to dropping that Tusk mid lane, but they do make it work, and Setsu getting very unlucky with that Power Rune. It does respawn down bot, so Super will have to take it on the Bane.
Yeah, it's a lot of resources now from iG.V to keep track mid, but with level 6 up in Setsu, he's just not a very easy target to lock down. Again, this is the issue with her draft, but they do smoke up.
The mid lane is going to be quite susceptible here. QY is the only man sitting there. They're going to run up top instead with Butterfly Effect and Dust. They'll try to make a play here onto Monet. Monet has no help around the corner, so they just jump in with the shards out as well, and the tag team, and he's taking a lot of damage and will ultimately die. And RNG unable to find any kind of trade across the map.
Yeah, it's a lot more aggressive from iG.V, and that aggression is paying off. Like, all of this movement has ensured that Doodle is really not receiving pressure down bot. A complete free farm lane for the AM, 42-6. You are seeing decent build-up on Flywin, but trading that kind of for an AM timing isn't amazing. And with that movement, they are allowed to shove in that top tier 1. One of the benefits of having that NP, do find these early objectives fast.
That you do.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Well, they're going to have to start focusing down Doodle sometime soon. This AM is going to get
Radiant's bottom tower is
that
under
Battle Fury up very, very fast if this kind of farm keeps up. You see September trying to scout things out, but now he just leaps straight into Doodle. Try and leap away, but Doodle going to just blink straight in after September. You do have Super around the area as well,
is under attack.
but he doesn't have the Fiend's Grip yet on that Bane, so he's not able to really grab the AM. Instead, they do trade the Tier 1 towers and rotate up towards that top lane again to try and stop this Tier 2 from being pressured too much. And RNG looks like they're going to attempt to at least take over control of this Radiant side jungle and try to force Doodle out.
Yeah, I mean, iG.V doing the same thing to that top jungle. They are trying to surround Setsu as well.
Can they get him though? He just assimilates and gets out of there. It's perfectly fine. Monet, meanwhile, harassing out Doodle, trying to force him back, and he does do so.
Structures are fortified.
And Doodle, yeah, he's just going to TP up towards that top lane now. He's not going to waste his time here in the Radiant jungle. Flywind, he'll rotate mid, where they do get the Aether with their own Butterfly effect, and he tries to blink away, but the Astral Step damage does kick in as he blinks out. And of course, Setsu going to be very, very happy with that kill.
Yeah, it's a really important one to stimulate the damage coming out from iG.V, that momentum out. And Doodle, left alone top, does cop some damage. Not quite enough to finish him off, but again, you're forcing the AM to constantly be on the move and keep hunting for safe areas to farm. It gets a bit tricky when you keep applying that aggression.
Well, September's just going to, again, haunt him here. And just keep stealing his creeps. Meanwhile, bot lane, nice snowball there to cancel off the TP of Super. Nevermind is the one that's able to pick up the kill on the Nature's Prophet. September, maybe going a bit too far into that triangle. Doodle may try and help out here. The leap is there, but the Frost Shield is out as well. And no, Doodle, he sees the DK. He's not going to bother chasing him down. QY has to be a little bit careful. He's very, very far in. Setsu around the area. Monet going to get the stun off, and this will mean a very, very easy kill. Flywind will take it on the Pango, and they're going to try and apply pressure up to that top lane, and most importantly, just keep Doodle on the run. They will do so.
Yeah, there was some pressure down bot from the NP, but Flywind by himself can kind of clear out that wave, although Super.
He's got Nightmare off, but there's no real follow-up to this. Flywind going to swashbuckle in, misses that one, but now the Rolling Thunder should allow them to secure this kill on Nevermind, though he is standing in the corner. Now the TP play, he's actually going to make it out. Oh, that's really well played by Nevermind.
Oh, that was just the perfect spot. He knew you couldn't roll the Pachinko ball there, and this isolates Monet up top.
Yeah, Chain Frost going to bounce through. Does it bounce back? It does. QY will get the kill for himself on the Lich now, and they're going to try and apply pressure into that mid lane. Butterfly effect. Could be in a bit of danger. Setsu around, but you haven't really got anyone nearby to lock him down yet. The Super's not able to get in range to get the Nightmare off, and Nevermind, he just TP's in. Setsu forced to back off. And iG.Vitality may feel confident enough to try and chip away at that Tier 1 mid tower a little bit. It's not going to be that easy, but they can get some damage in for sure. I believe this the support levels right now on RNG are really hurting them. Level 5 and 4 on the Mirana and Bane. They're just, well, actually Super just hit 6 now, aiding the tomb.
Yeah, this fixes some issues they have with control. Now that you have the Fiend's Grip up and running, they can go for easier pickoffs. You do start to look at Doodle. He's 2 parts away from finishing up that Battle Fury. You really want to keep a lid on him, but every time they go rotate in the jungle, there are wards from iG.V to watch that movement. So Doodle's always safe in that side, and don't really have the tools just yet there.
Mid lane, Dusk going to get a very nice snowball off, avoiding that Rolling Thunder damage. Still, Super coming in. There'll be a stun out on the Tusk. They may just grip him. No. They get the arrow off, and they'll get the kill onto that. They should get the kill, but no, nobody followed up. It was only September. Sonic Wave, nice leap away, and now the Fiend's Grip is there from Super. They have got the Queen of Pain, though again Snowball gonna save, and Chain Frost is gonna bounce through. They'll lose nothing quite yet. Setsu did dissimulate, Doodle jumping in, but the Astral Step, he'll be able to get away now. Everyone barely getting out apart from the Tusk. And never mind, no, he TP'd in, he got Setsu on that Void Spirit, but this may cost him his own life. They are eventually going to be able to claim the bounty on that Nature's Prophet.
That was a really messy engagement from RNG. They just didn't manage to go in there at the right times. Surprising that Flywind chose to force that out for so long, and no one was there to back him up. September, with a Starstorm, didn't get the second one to land on Dust. That just allowed him to really interrupt the Fiend's Grip and cause havoc there. Of course, the entire time while you're forcing that fight, you're giving space to Doodle. He's got the Perseverance up. He's saving up for the Claymore next, and that's just about 1,000 gold away, so you're looking at a really early timer on that Battle of Fury for Doodle, and that's when the AM's farm really starts to kick in to full gear.
Top lane, they may make a play onto Flywind. They do get the shards off with the Snowball, but Flywind will just bounce across the shards, and Rolling Thunder now going to be committed. They'll go onto the Lich and try to claim an easy pos 5. QY, he does go down eventually due to the Pangolier. They were unable to secure the kill onto Flywind.
It's a decent pickup for RNG, not the biggest trade in the world. And again, as you mentioned, that's just a pos 5 Lich. You're still keeping Doodle moving, but he has a lot of safe space in this area. And you're not quite finding the same farm escalation on Monet. Like, he's at 5.9k, like not too far behind the AM, but that is set to change with the timing on Doodle. He's just ready to go soon.
Monet's actually gone for a very intriguing build with that Armlet again. Not opting to try to go for that Blink Initiation, and he's going to go into that BKB up next on the DK, so just wanting to be able to fight very early on with his team, which I believe they are going to need. Thing is though, Setsu also has an Orchid up now, and that did become a lot cheaper with that new patch. So now, on bot lane, Flywind, he was in a bit of danger. Does get himself out. Butterfly going to get silenced up here from Setsu. 8th Remnant though won't latch, but they should have enough, and they do. Dissimulate to get himself out. Setsu's still in danger. He needs some help. Flywind with the Rolling Thunder will delay things from Dust, but eventually they do secure the kill. Going on to QYQX instead on that Lich. And Dust, he's been used up by Flywind. Nice shards out to block the pathing, but eventually Arrow does connect, and they do get the kill. Another great trade out from RNG.
Yeah, it's finally starting to shape up for them. They are starting to find the right targets. A bit of a shame they had to trade Setsu away, so you're not finding as much as you'd want, but with this kind of opening, it does allow them to apply that pressure on the mid-tier 1. They've got a little bit more time left on Monet's Dragon form, so there's some decent damage that will fly out here. Still going to be happy with giving Doodle the space, though. You're not losing too much with those kinds of trades. Battle Fury's up and running, so you can still keep farming up in that hero.
No mid lane, they have to cancel the TP there onto Dust, and with that TP cancellation, they go straight onto that Queen of Pain, and they just burst them down. That Orchid pickup out from Setsu is doing a lot of work, and we see the Orchid trying to be picked up there from the Quap as well, but it's just so much further off.
Yeah, it's giving a lot of opportunities to RNG to get that lockdown. That's the crucial thing. They've been able to get control on these high mobility heroes with that silence. Now, once the Quap has that, we're going to have that tool as well. And we kind of saw that in Game 1, where there was an exchange of Orchids between the two teams, but RNG did manage to utilize that better, although... Ooh. Super.
It's going to be a silence out on Dust. Super. Looks like he nightmared himself and wasn't able to follow up on any kind of kill attempt. Still buying time for Doodle here. He's still farming up decently, but it looks like RNG are more than happy to really set a nice tempo now for their side of things. Where do they go from here, though, RNG? They've just kind of been stuck in that mid lane for a while.
Yeah, they need to finish up some key items. Like that BKB and Monet is going to be big to allow them to just stand there and fight. You're seeing the same build-up from Setsu. They don't want the control to be a factor, and iG.V have really nothing to pierce through that BKB. just need to wait out that spell immunity, and they can really start to take control in these fights. But this is, again, space for iG.V. Doodle,
Rolling
saving up
Thunder.
for that SNY.
Be very, very nice there. Cancelling the TP from Nevermind, and he's got no way out now. So, perhaps a bit of chip damage onto the tier 2 tower while they're there. They are continuing this pace nicely. 3k net worth lead out for RNG. We do see a smoke there from iG.V now, trying to go to the Dire jungle and find Monet. And Monet is trying to fight up against Dust right now. He does have TPs coming in, but they need to come quicker than that. Monet still looking pretty darn healthy. Gets the Fiend's Grip off onto QYQX, but it is cancelled by the Snowball. Still, QY is going to die, and so will Dust. The Chain Frost doesn't end up killing anybody.
Yeah, it's like they tried to surround the DK, but they don't quite have enough damage by themselves. Clear out Monet, and that's before the BKB's here. So he's flying that BKB out now, and now your magic damage isn't going to be a factor towards Monet. I mean, this Nether Shawl is just giving too much durability to Monet. Really balanced for the DK to have that one.
Doodle at least does have the Yasha up now, going into the Sergeant Yasha. We've seen that exact same build out of God King before. He tends to do the exact same thing on the AM. Well, Setsu looking down at Butterfly Effect at that bot lane, and there's that silence with the Aether Remnant. You just see how fast this Queen of Pain blows up.
Ooh.
And Nevermind, he TP's in, trying to get some added damage out onto this Void Spirit. Sprout will not miss, will not connect. A great dodge out from Setsu, and he should still be able to secure this kill, but while he's doing that, QYQX goes down. Setsu still trying to make a run for it. He has to simulate very soon, but it will not be enough. iG.V do eventually manage to secure the kill.
Yeah, that does give RNG an opening up top to get a lot of damage onto this tier 2, and that's going to open up that outpost for the taking if RNG wants to play aggressive after that objective.
Dire's bottom tower
They'll do it pretty easily.
Radiant's top tower is under
They'll trade the bottom tier 1 for that. Maybe not. There's going to be a defense out from Monet. He's not going to allow that tier 1 tower to drop. Still, their Ancients were taken there by Dust and, of course, the AM Doodle. But now they're going to go on to Dust to try to go for a Snowball on September. He will go down to September. So they got a decent amount of gold out of that Ancient stack. But they will lose Tusk in return. And well, now it looks like RNG are going to try and sneak that outpost away before that 20-minute mark.
It's going to be... That's a massive win for RNG. Just a lot of EXP going their way. This is not something you tend to see because of the way it's been changed, right? Like, you need a tier first. But with that kind of trade earlier on, this gives RNG some decent control in that bot jungle, which limits the space for the rest of the heroes of iG.V to farm up. I mean, you're still having decent farm and Doodle, but with the AM, you want to be #1 in that fort. And even with that Battle Fury timing Doodle's had, Monet is still finding the better end here in terms of farm.
That he is. RNG, they're going to start forcing down that tier 2 tower with this Dragon form from Monet.
bottom tower is under attack.
Monet is going for the Aghanim Scepter straight after, and he's getting fairly close to it as well, only about halfway there now. So iG.Vitality try to trade the top tier 2 tower, but there are TPs coming in from Flywind, who is going to Rolling Thunder, but the AM does blink out. Still, they do have control over Super as well in that Bane. He does go down. Flywind is just going to go after the Lich instead, and Monet will actually TP in after taking that tier 2 tower and does at least get the pos 5. Now, Nevermind will try to sprout his way out of this one, but it looks like he cannot get himself out. Still, Setsu will die on the Void Spirit. Looks like he went a bit too far into Butterfly, and well, it's an absolute mess up with this top lane. A 2 for 2 in the end. iG.Vitality managing to at least kill off that mid Void Spirit.
It's a bit more worthwhile for iG.V in that trade if you don't factor in that tier 2 bot. That's just a lot of objectives bleeding away from iG.V, and again, limiting the space where they can safely back up their heroes. So the jungle, RNG is going to set their sights on it if they want to, and they can just take control. There's no spots for iG.V to TP in. They do get some decent D-wards off, so you're not at least having vision control here from RNG, but they do smoke up.
They'll go on to maybe Dust here. They did ping him out.
Radiant's middle tower is
In fact,
under
no,
attack.
they might switch their attention onto QY, who did cancel the smoke of September Jumps onto the cliff, gets a Yule's off, and that should mean a very easy arrow. And it is just the position 5 going down there for iG.V, but it was just some unfortunate timing for RNG for that smoke to be broken. This is buying more space for Doodle, who does disassemble that Sergeant Yasha and go for that Heaven's Halberd.
Yeah, it's almost time for the AM to really start jumping in. He's just lacking that ultimate orb for the Manta style as well. But you can see RNG, they're not relenting.
No, mid lane, Butterfly Effect getting it stunned up, and they just burst him down. Nobody there to help the Quap out, and that means Monet is again just going to be able to pop that Dragon Form and go straight after that mid-tier 2 tower. They extend their net worth lead to 4k and probably even 5k after that tier 2, and oh, they want to go high ground a bit. With the BKB at 10 seconds, why not?
Yeah, they've still got a little bit more time in that Dragon Form, and the next time Monet rolls around, he's going to have his hags. So that's the Black Dragon Form coming out, and just a lot more damage coming out from this DK.
Well, they get the tier 3 tower. I mean, he gets frost shielded, but that is not a glyph. So RNG aren't going to back off, and they still have time. They could go after that Rax as well, but no, it looks like the rest of the team say we're going back. A lot of Dire Couriers dying to Nevermind right now, apparently on that Nature's Prophet. Monet going to turn around, going onto Dust. Arrow does connect, and he will die. They go for more now. Onto that Lich, and, well, QY is going to die to the Orchid damage. They force out the buyback there from Dust on the Tusk, and that'll be enough.
Yeah, I mean, they gave space to Doodle to try to shove out top, so there is that going for iG.V, but again, you're looking at an AM who is finding decent farm, but he's not in the lead. He's just matching Monet. That's never the spot you want to be in on that hero. You have to have that lead, and there's just nothing from Doodle that's big here.
Doodle. Be in trouble. Monet with that Moonlight Shadow should be able to break the gap here up against Doodle, but he does blink away. They may have ran through a Sentry Ward, and it looks like they did, so Doodle just going to TP out of there. I believe they did run through the Sentry of the that Radiant Triangle. So a big opportunity missed out there for RNG. I don't think they'll mind too much anyway, though. They could just go for the Roshan pit if they really want, but no, they're going to TP down bot lane where Doodle does show himself. He does get the Manta and immediately just starts blinking away. It's, a smoke is going to be there from iG.V now. 25-minute bounty rune. September could be in danger. They'll snowball in. They just jump in immediately. Flywin goes in after that Queen of Pain, however, with the Rolling Thunder. Now going to connect on 3 heroes, and Monet is going to have a field day just hitting them over and over again. A great Sonic Wave out from that Quap, but Dust is still in trouble, and he is going to die. Now Setsu jumping on top of that Nature's Prophet will secure a triple kill out for Monet. And it looked decent for a moment for iG.Vitality, but RNG just proving to be too strong at the moment.
Yeah, they've got way too much to work with. That plump up for Flywin was big. That really allowed them to clean up. Now, iG.V did manage to bail out Doodle and bail out Butterfly Effect, so that's a bit of a silver lining for iG.V. It's just that these 2 heroes, they still need a lot more to really start turning the tides in these engagements. I mean, the Doodle's all set to try to split push and maybe join for fights. It's just not enough so far when you have so much more on the DK. And we haven't even seen either side go for the Roche, but RNG with their 7k lead would be able to take control of that area if they wanted to as well.
Flywin having a look to see if he can spot out this AM. Orchid going to come out there from the Quap. Moonlight Shadow also popped. Bot lane, Super does get caught there, but Monet is going to be on the chase, and it's going to be another call for a support kind of kill. It's just not favoring iG.Vitality to do that. The Super will be more than happy to die every time if it means they find that pos 3 profit. Even Butterfly Effect being chased down here from Flywin top lane. He does get the Orchid off on that Mirana. She'll use it off. Flywin not connecting with the Swashbuckle. And he's still around, but Doodle now going to jump in. Does secure the kill onto September. And Flywin's going to find a way out of this one. Swashing to the right side. And they do blink right on top of him, but a nice little shield crash, and he's going to have another swashbuckle ready to go. Does commit straight away, getting the bash on the AM, but a nice blink. Now Setsu is going to jump in, getting butterfly effect. They'll go after that AM. There's a snowball in from Dust. He really wants that Pangolier. He does end up securing the kill for his team. Setsu doesn't seem to be done yet. We'll see if he can get Dust. He only has the Orchid. Astral Step will now be back up. But whether he has enough damage to kill off this Tusk is an entirely different story. And, well, eventually they may if they just end up getting vision. Dust. He's dead now. Monet gets a stun off, and that will mean another kill.
Yeah,
Dire's middle tower
it's
is under
not
attack.
the best trade still for iG.V. Like, that's Flywin or a core and a support still in the end. You are seeing Doodle start to join in. I mean, that's Doodle's first actual kill. So it's a start for our AM. He is saving up for the Satanic next, just wanting a way to stay in those man fights and try to win out. Of course, once that's up and running, you should see more impact from that hero. Setsu, he did waste his 10-second charge there as well on his BKB, so a bit costly for not the biggest kills. But they are just gonna go for the racks. They've got that dragon form with the Ags.
Yeah, Monet will get started. He's doing a lot of damage. That's for sure.
Radiant's middle base has fallen.
They're going to glyph it up. There's no T3 tower to protect it. There's no way to defend. And with that glyph being expended, they may as well just go for another. But Snowball in is going to be there onto the DK with the Sonic Wave. But he is so tanky. He pops his BKB and they just jump in with the Starfall on the AM. Doodle forced to Mantra and blink out. But that Rolling Thunder from Flywin controlling the backlines. QY will go down, and now Nevermind also does go down. And again, with that glyph being used up, RNG, they just go up top.
Is under attack.
Oh,
Butterfly.
Butterfly?
It's going to be a stun out. Yeah, that wasn't the play, and the AM was disarmed up, having to blink out again. Dust, he tried to snowball save that Queen of Pain, but it will cost him. Now the Yule's out from Flywin, hoping for a bash, doesn't quite get there, but the Fiend's Grip is going to come out, and that will mean the AM dies. And that's it, they call it. No buybacks available, they just say GG.
Oh, iG.V. I mean, that was a lot better for them here in Game 2, but they still have a lot to work on as they do maintain a bit of a losing streak here in the DPL-CDA Season 2. RNG, they're looking fantastic. They managed to find the answers for SAG. They're dominant over iG.V. We'll see if they can continue that run in the rest of the games, but, well, we've got a very exciting game to come out next, Mike. LGD versus VG.
Yeah, LGD versus VG Gaming will be coming up. There is some bad news, though. I do believe we are going to be waiting. We are going to be waiting till the scheduled time begins. Yeah. So there is about an hour and 30 minutes to wait. I'm not gonna try and sugarcoat it, John. It's a long time. I guess I'll check with the admins to see if they're going to start a bit earlier today. You'll see a timer come out on the screen anyway, so you'll know when it's due to start. But yeah, I can't do much about the time. Unfortunately, if it's scheduled, it's scheduled. So you'll see the timer on the screen when I get confirmation as to what time we are starting. Till then, though, it is MLP Dota and johnxfire, and we'll see you again very, very soon, hopefully, for that second series of the night. We'll see you then.